Greetings, humans. I'm Monday, and I'm George, and this is Couscous, and welcome back to the Windmill full of corpses. Do you know what a Haliphron is? No, I googled. What is it? It's a septopus. A what? A septopus. A septopus? Yes. That's like an octopus, but without the octa. But why? I think it's a real thing. Oh! Because I was just like, why make a word for something that doesn't exist? Yeah, no, I think it does exist. I didn't know that it existed. Right, so last time we reacted to Haliphron, we really liked it, but something I had not experienced back then that I have experienced in the meantime is what Haliphron is like on stage. Ow, my feelings. So with that being said, I am considerably more excited about this one than I was about the previous one. I think it's more like, ow, a lot of things, feelings included. Yes. And that's a good thing. I mean, no. It's called Art of the Blade. Nice! Woo! Wow, that gallop! Whoa! It ended on a fuck you. Yeah.
Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!
Okay. Y'all really pick wholesome topics, don't you?
Yes, they do.
You figured out what it's about, right?
Yeah.
So, the first single, Silent Escape, we figured out that that's about addiction. This one, by the video and by some of the lyrics that I caught, is obviously about self-harm.
Yeah.
And about judgment attached to it and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Sunshines and rainbows sometime soon, maybe?
It's a death metal band.
But come to think of it, the new album is called Anatomy of Darkness.
Oh.
So I think they might have done something like set the main theme with the first single where it's like about addiction.
Mhm.
And then they just go into, with every song, they might go into like different forms of addictions or destructive behaviors or stuff like that.
I wouldn't think addiction is the main theme. I would think addiction is one of the categories of self-destructive behaviors that they're diving into.
Of Anatomies of Darkness, yeah,
Yes.
pretty much. It was a bit more chaotic than the previous one, faster, more high energy, more like alert. I don't think I even actually clearly distinguished choruses and stuff.
I noticed repeating parts, but I couldn't have said for sure which one's the chorus.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite part was the one with the big open chords and then the drum fills and transitions. That was really, really wild. And the solo, I wasn't ready for a solo.
Mhm.
I think the previous one didn't have a solo, did it?
Yes, it did. It was the cure to the addiction, remember?
Oh yeah, I'm a moron. Yeah.
So, it's so full of transition now that you're speaking of that. I was thinking it's kind of like not what chips manufacturers do when they fill their bags. 'Cause it's like half air.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, you know, when you open a bag of chips and it's like you gotta get halfway through before you reach your first chip, although you first opened it. Same with Legos, actually.
Yeah. It's a lot easier to access their transitions.
Yes.
I'm gonna stop doing dumb metaphors now. The solo was also pretty cool. It was more kind of a theme. Like it had a repeating pattern to it.
Yeah.
And at some point through that, the keyboard joined in. So you had like parts that were just the guitar and then parts where it would like join in with the keyboard at the same time, doubling. And I also like how the keyboard is integrated in the song. It's more of this like linear thing, whereas keyboards and symphonic stuff are usually more like a layer with chords and stuff.
Yeah.
So because it's got that singular aspect to it, it just joins into the song better than it otherwise would. It also kind of reminds me of Karakangre, because they have a lot of these like very distinguished keyboardy lines.
Yeah, and I was gonna say like a chromatic horror influence in there. I specifically heard one descent that sounded to me very like horror soundtrack in that way.
Mm-hmm. And then it chugs a lot.
Yes.
And it yells a lot.
Oh my god, the yelling. Like, she has this mid to low gritty tone, and then every now and then just moves up into the shrieks.
Yes. And you're like, is that the same person?
And the answer is unfortunately yes.
Unfortunately. Why unfortunately?
I don't know. You don't want to mess with her, I think.
Well, probably. But it also sounds cool. So
Yes.
unfortunately on one side, but definitely fortunately on the other.
Yes! I'm happy with this.
It's cool to see, like, newer bands do more symphonic death type stuff, because I don't think there's a lot of new bands doing that from my way. All the new kids are playing core.
Yeah, and I feel like symphonic death metal isn't a very well developed genre anyway. Like, symphonic always blends more with black metal or with deathcore if they want to do orchestral stuff.
Yeah.
And if it goes into death metal, a lot of times it's like they'll put some orchestrations in there, but they're not really making it sound symphonic or cinematic. Like, the only bands that really do that I can think of are Septic Flesh and Flesh God Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to see more things going in that direction. So that makes this band really unique for me.
Do we want to talk about the topic some more, or are we uneducated and we'd rather leave it the hell alone?
I mean, I've already heard the person sort of screaming at me that I should just also show the empathy, not just mention it. And I'm like, I'm dumb. I don't know how to do that.
I just wanted to say about one thing that I've heard on a podcast once, which is pretty curious as to, since it connects with like judgment and people being like, you're doing this for attention and such, of what the psychological mechanism behind it in some cases might be. And apparently it's like a very severe anxiety response to living in a state of fight or flight. So people with very severe, who live in that very severe type of stress actually find some relief in this. And apparently, don't quote me on this because I'm no professional, but part of why that's revealing is because to the predatory instinct, seeing blood communicates that you've had your kill in a way, so your opponent is no longer a threat to you.
Oh.
So just that sight tends to do that.
So it's a sort of very primal survivalistic sort of thing.
Yeah, to see blood.
Uh-huh.
And that might be an underlying mechanism as to why some people do this. But do your own research. This is just a thing I heard. And since it's like right there, I felt like maybe it's worth sharing.
See, this is why with all forms, because, everyone has their own self-destructive behaviors. I've never gone for anything like this, but I surely have mine as well. This is why it always bugs me whenever people say self-destructive behavior and they're like, oh, you're punishing yourself. It's like, no. Most of the times these impulses aren't something you control and decide.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the things that people have to figure out. Like, every now and then there will be that one person that hates themselves, I guess, but that's also kind of like an impulse and an unrealized problem. It's not a conceptualized and decided behavior. So, anyway, I wanted to touch on it because I felt like it's relevant given that it's the main theme of the song. But like I said, don't quote us on it. We are not professionals. Yeah, and I think
we're just a bunch of dweebs with big mouths.
Yeah, and I think the other thing I'd say is with any sort of mental health stuff, if anyone reaches out for help in any way, like what you gotta do is let them talk. Yeah. Don't talk over them. Don't tell them how you can fix them or you know the answers. Let the people talk. There are people who need to talk for hours. Yeah, if you want to help. That's my 2 cents. Again, like he said, we have no PhDs in this.
Boy, this band sure knows how to suck the joy out of a song.
And Couscous liked it.
I mean, in all fairness, there's not a lot of flesh for him to cut into.
Yeah, I think he removed most of it.
We're gonna quit with the macabre jokes now.
Are we done here?
No.
So if you enjoyed this reaction, we'd greatly appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. With bells on.
Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay, and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Corpse is out.